there's been a lot of chipmunks and squirrels in the garden as they're preparing for winter, and Toby doesn't like that much. He wants to play with them. So I'm going to put him in his little bed so he can have a nap, and we can talk about knitting. So I'm back. Today, if you're expecting a scrapbooking video, or which is my newest latest craze, or cards or anything paper related, not today. Today it's a Tobyknits video. And what is Tobyknits? Tobyknits, for anyone new popping in, is a podcast about my knitting adventures. Socks feature predominantly, as it is the year of the sock for me, and lots of yarny goodness that I receive, and basically whatever I'm working on is what I like to talk about. And today I do have notes because it's been so long since I have done a Tobyknits video. This is actually episode 14, which is kind of cool. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, drop me some notes of kindness below, and subscribe. And you will from now on be able to tell right off the get-go whether it's a Tobyknits video about knitting or a colourful cards video about scrapbooking and cards. I'm trying to differentiate between the two, so if you don't really like paper crafting, you don't have to watch that video, and if you don't like knitting, then you don't have to watch that one. So hey, there you go. So you can find me on Instagram as Tobyknits. You can find me on Ravelry as Brithockeymum, and on Facebook as Tobyknits. I will leave links below for that. So today's podcast, I do have a finished object, a new cast on, and of course the very ever popular What Have You Got? And oh my gosh, I got something awesome to show you. So let's get started with finished objects. And my finished object today is from the Bakery Bears from Kay Jones. It's her Whispers in the Wall sock pattern. And here it is. And I have finished both of them. And I loved this pattern. Now, I have to try to put it on for you like this. So this is what the front of the sock would look like. Trying to figure out how to, there. This is what it would look like, and it's got this gorgeous cable down the sides, which you do not use a cable needle for. It was a very interesting design, and this of course is all kind of a lacy pattern. Then on the back up here is this other pattern, which is very interesting. And then we had a, I've never done this type of a toe before. This is an umbrella toe, where you sort of, you don't do your regular every other row. You do so many rows and then delete all around in a circle, and then more and more until you get to the top. And it was very interesting. It's called an umbrella toe, so that was very interesting. But I really loved this. These are for me because I needed a brown pair of socks, and I really liked these. And so there, those are finished. I did a 2.25 needle, my zings, because I love zings. And I forget the yarn I used for this. I think it was Sandu, I think. But yes, very nice. And I didn't do a very big leg because I kind of like the 4-inch legs, just enough to cover your ankles and your part of your leg where your socks are, but not halfway up your leg. So yeah, those are really nice. I enjoyed making those. So those are finished. I have got tons of my little socks finished. Where did I put all them? Oh wait, they're back here in this bag. So I have got tons of my little socks all finished. I've been working on doing them because I'm doing I was going to do an advent calendar for my son and daughter-in-law in the little socks and put little gifts inside them, but now I've decided not to, because like that would be a lot of little socks to make. So I'm going to do now what's called the 12 days of Christmas. So on Christmas Day they'll get them, and then for the 12 days after they'll get a little gift inside, and I'm making a pair for me. So there's these, and then we've got those, which I actually have the real ones on today, and then there are these, and then the green ones, sparkly sparkly, and then I have this one, and I think I've got another one of this in my, oh no, wrong bag. Gosh, I got that many of course it's in my Netherwood bag. I have that many little bags around here now. So what have I got in here? Oh yes, there's the other one done, and I did a brown one, and I'm working on the other brown one. Where did it go? Maybe I didn't do a second brown one. Maybe this is the first brown one. Okay, well I'm working on this one. So, there. So this is how it's coming right now. What a tangled mess this is. So I'm just working on the heel flap and turn and the gusset. So that will be this pair. And yes, so I still have, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So I have to get a move on if I want to get these all finished in time for Christmas. So there, that's in my Netherwood bag. So that's all I have for finished objects right now. So let's have a chit chat about works in progress. And I've started back on my Flax sweater, which is in the Fletcher bag. The Fletcher bag, which is a sweater bag. And I've started this because it's getting cooler now, and it's time to get it out, because I would like to finish it before the end of the year. So this is by TinCan Knits, and it starts up at the collar, and you do so much, it's all worked in the round, and you do so much until you get here, and then you cast off some stitches there on what do you call that? Waist thread or waist yarn, as it is. So this is how it's coming along so far. You knit it down to so it's just there below my boob. So you knit it down to as long as you want it to be, and then you would start on with your rib at the bottom. It's a gorgeous color. It's a teal. It doesn't look so great when I get, oh yeah, there you go. It's a really pretty color. It's teal, and it is actually a Brithockeymum yarn. So I'm really liking that, and that's where I started last night. Picked it up and I did a bunch of this much, just plain straight knitting. So it's very nice and very easy to do. And the yarn that I'm using, actually, I have one more back here. So it is the Brithockeymum yarn, premium yarn, and the color is Botany Teal. So it's a very nice yarn, very soft actually, much softer than you think it's going to be. So that is that project. And then I have to do my popper up. Come on. There. Then the other thing I am working on is in my Bradshaw bag. And this is, if I can get it out without getting it all in a mess, because there are 3 yarns on here. 3 3 yarns, and here it comes. It's a blanket, and on the bottom of the blanket, it's hard to see because it's wanting to curl, will be 3 hippopotamuses standing on a bit of grass, and then they go up to the top, all the stripies, and at the top it's grey hippopotamuses with a white background. It's kind of like the opposite to what's going on at the bottom. So this is really, really pretty. And again, the reason I have all these different threads is because you've got to keep the grey going all the way through the back of the white. So I have there's this bit of grey that will go, then you change to the white, and you come back, and then you've got the grey at the other end. So there are 3 colors, and oh, I did all that. If you look at the back here, I did that, I think it's called entrelac or something or another, something like that, where you use, again, I used all kinds of colors, little balls all the way along, so you can see that the color doesn't drag across from one to another, because you know you don't want little hands to get stuck in the loose threads at the back. So there is that, and that was actually from this magazine, Knit Simple, which is this month's magazine, and it's a really, really nice pattern. There's lots of nice patterns in here, actually. There's a couple of hats I wouldn't mind trying. So this pattern is called Hippo Blanket. Imagine! And this is what it will look like when it's finished. So it's very cute. Very nice little blanket. So there's that. And the yarn that I am using for that is Cascades yarn. And they actually don't give you names of these. Well, it's a gray and a like a vanilla color, and the green. So for that. So is that all I've got for works in progress? I've dumped the Argyle socks. Got fed up with them. So Bob's not getting them for Christmas now. You'll have to have something else. I've told you about my flax sweater from TinCan Knits. I've told you about the mini garland. I finished the brown socks. I started a baby blanket. Yeah, that's all I've got for works in progress. I do need to put some more socks on the needles, because now that I finished them, I'm kind of getting a bit antsy for my socks. So let's get on to, what have you got, Anne? And I've got so much to show you. Let's start off with talking about socks. Let's start off with my newest package of Galt House yarn. This just came the other day, and I wanted to show you this because this is really super funny. This is, I got this in because this is the sock club that I'm in, but I'm obviously in this year's 2019. But this is the sock club that they do, and you get sent your yarn like this. And, oh, I need a pair of scissors to open this. One moment, please. Well, I just wander down to the other end of my room. Here we go. And when you open this, it comes out. Look how lovely this is. What a nice color. What a really nice color. It's very thin though. Oh, it's a Cascade yarn too. It's Cascade Heritage, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. Oh, it's very soft. Oh my gosh. Oh, I like this. It's very soft. So of course you would ravel this up. Ravel this up? No, that's not is that a word? Cake it up. That's right, cake it up, as we say in the knitting biz, and make it into a ball. And then the pattern for that, for this one, is the Salisbury. Well, I used to remember going to Salisbury when I was a kid in England. And so this is what they look like. Aren't they pretty? I think that's kind of sweet. And all this, just down the sides. Of course, I always have a hard time with that, because when I do just down the one side and then you're supposed to do the opposite side, I wind up doing it back on the same side again. I can't quite, I'm not very good at left and right. Most people know that. I'm not very good at math, and I'm not very good at left and right. But that's a very nice pattern. I like that. Very nice indeed. So there's that one that came. Ooh. And of course, my Knitcrate box came. So let's have a look and see. I think I chose for this natural or cool. Ooh! I love blue socks. This is such a nice blue. It's like a robin egg blue one. Oh, has it got glitter in it? No. No, very pretty. This is a Uri yarn by Knitcrate. It's a Uri yarn scoot sock. Electricity is the colorway. So this is very nice. And then of course, we got a free gift, which I think you use these. We used to use these for floss when I was cross stitching, but I think you use these to put, if you're doing little balls like I was before, I think that's what that's for, but I'm not really sure. No, wait. I know what that's for. I know what this is for. When you've finished a pair of socks and you have a bit of yarn left over, you put some of that yarn on here, on this spindly thing. There's 3 in this packet, but you put it on one of these and you keep it aside, and then later when you get a hole in your sock and you can't find that yarn anymore, or you've used it on an itty blanket or something, then you have enough to fix. It's to use for darning. That's what I'm going to use it for anyway. I'm not really sure if that was. And of course we always get our little magazine, which gives us various patterns in here for hats, or, that's a nice hat pattern. And of course these were the sock yarns. You could have got one of these 3 colors, and I got the blue, which was the chill out color. That's rather cool. And the sock that we're going to do with that, you can either crochet a pair of socks, and the crochet socks look like, you can find them, that. Yes, you can crochet socks, but the knitted sock ones look like that, which again, I think is rather a yummy pattern. Yes, I'm kind of looking forward to that one too. So there, that's my sock yummy yarn. And I have one more thing to show you, which you can't get very excited about yet. We have to wait. This came in the mail last week, and inside is my advent calendar. Are you ready? And what these are, every day, starting December 1st, I get to open one of these, and inside is some yummy yarn. I think it's 25 grams, it could be 50. I feel like it's 25, but you get to make, there's number 1. You get to open them up and see what's in there. And this came with some candy. And this was from Legacy Fibre Artz. So I will be doing a video most days in December and and show you me opening them, because we can't open them yet. We just can't. So that's all I've got for you today, my friends, with my knitting escapades. I have to get back cracking on my sweater, the blanket. I need a new pair of socks. Oh, and I was going to make some Christmas gifts, I think, coming up. Hats and cowls and stuff for people. So I've got to get on that. I've only got 2 already made gifts for Christmas. So I have to get cracking on some more. So that's all I have to tell you about today. I hope you have a fabulous Thanksgiving weekend and enjoy time with your family. And if you get some downtime, I hope you get some knitting done. Bye-bye for now.